Bali reopening. What's the current situation with coronavirus in Bali? I'm going to give you an update as far as coronavirus goes for April 2021 in Bali, Indonesia. I just looked at my last video was less than 3 weeks ago, but so much has happened since then, and I'll fill you in. I've even got, we had a little adventure, my wife and I, yesterday, and today we followed up. It was not fruitful, but I've got a little boots on the ground reporting that we can, give you the results of. This is Tom from Wage Freedom. Appreciate you watching. Let's get going. I was reviewing this video and I got bit by a bee or a wasp on the sole of my foot. It really hurts. I decided to just bring it inside. I wasn't even sure I was going to make this video, but now, damn it, I'm definitely going to make it. I didn't expect to be going from a Bali update to an epic wildlife documentary. Okay, so sorry about that, but the video that you make isn't always the one that you're planning to make, right? A few weeks ago, I mentioned in my last video that they were getting these green zones together. Ubud, Sanur, and Nusa Dua were going to be the first places in Bali that they were going to try to really beat down the coronavirus. Those three places are also heavily touristed as well in normal times, and so no doubt they want to, show the proof of concept that they're able to beat back coronavirus in these areas, and which that they're going to, but who knew how long that would take, right? Realistically, there's no manual for this, right? So less than 3 weeks later, the mayor of Denpasar has declared Sanur as quote-unquote complete, okay? I'm sure that doesn't mean that 100% of people in Sanur are vaccinated, but at least the main part of the effort, I guess, is if not done, it's substantially done, okay? Don't know where they are with Ubud and Nusa Dua, but my guess would be, it's not going to be long until they reach similar status. As this is happening, and you're hearing stuff every day, we're getting directives and info from the government, daily numbers and the rest of it. But the rumor has been that the rest of Badung, after those three green zone areas, that they would be starting vaccinating people in these other areas. When we say Badung, we mean from the Bukit Peninsula, all the way up to, well, actually Bedugul, but that it includes all of the beach areas that if you've been to Bali, minus Sanur on the other side of the peninsula, right? But all the beach areas that you would know, Kuta, Canggu, Seminyak, Legian, right? Okay, so Badung. The rumor was that maybe they were going to be vaccinating down in Jimbaran on the Bukit Peninsula, but on the other side from Nusa Dua yesterday, and that they would possibly have some extra doses. So my wife and I jumped on a bike yesterday and spent 4 hours, actually, which should probably tell you kind of the way it went. But we went down to a few different places, a couple hotels, and we ended up at a tourism university for young people to learn about, being in the hospitality industry. Just basically talking to people, and people kept saying you should try over here and you should try over here. So we ended up at this place, and there's probably, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of people waiting to get their vaccine. And we asked, can we be included? And the answer was no, because my wife's KTP, her local identity card, was not Jim Baden down there. I just want to say that that as a foreigner, I'm very grateful for the generosity of the provincial and the national government to be allowing me not only to get the vaccine sooner or later, not yesterday, but it's okay, sooner or later, and not even charging foreigners. Okay, that's the deal. They're not charging locals or foreigners, and I just think that's very generous. I'd be absolutely willing to pay, but just to get it out there that I'm very grateful for the generosity, which I sincerely am. Just as an aside, there is going to be a private vaccination program in Indonesia, and in Bali. What that'll be is, employers can reserve some vaccine for their employees, and as a parallel effort to the government effort, which has been ongoing here for a few months, private companies will also be able to get some vaccine to vaccinate their own employees and their employees' families. Okay, so it's a great idea, sort of a two-path, effort.
I'd anticipate at that point that local hospitals would also be giving, packages, probably catering to foreigners like me. If you want to, expedite and come down, in a day or two, you can get it done, but you're gonna have to pay. It's not happening yet. I don't know if there was a time frame for that actually that I'm aware of, but in lieu of that, I will certainly be. I'll step right up whenever it's my turn to get the vaccine. Speaking for myself, But yeah, so anyway, since it was actually not clear, and we had heard that some people who didn't actually live down in the Bukit were able to get vaccinated, we thought, okay, well, let's just give it a shot, see if we're able to. And we weren't. And 4 hours on the bike, we were all hot and everything, but didn't regret, giving it a shot. So come back, and we're sitting here last night and get the WhatsApp message that a hotel near us will be offering vaccines. Didn't know how many, and didn't know to whom either, actually. The word was to people working in the tourist industry. But again, we thought, well, let's just get down there and see what we find out. And we went down there, and actually it had been postponed, or it wasn't happening today, actually. So 2 days in a row, we didn't get any vaccination. No idea if it'll happen tomorrow. We're gonna check our grapevine, our network, and we'll go down again tomorrow if we think there's a chance. But the takeaway though is that, man, we're getting closer. I mean, you realize that about 4 months ago in December. That's my memory anyway. The phase 3 trials were starting to be, the results were starting to come, Moderna and Pfizer and everything, and hearing that we had workable vaccines, and it was such good news, right? And then the Sinovac came to Indonesia, and that was a big deal, obviously. And it came to Bali. Then, AstraZeneca came. That was early March. That was just about a month ago or so. AstraZeneca came to Indonesia. Came to Bali pretty quickly. The number I heard was they got 1.1 million doses of the AstraZeneca about a month ago, and about 200,000 would be reserved for Bali. Okay, so it's been weeks that the AstraZeneca has been here in Bali, and they've been vaccinating people here. So with both of those vaccines, Sinovac and AstraZeneca. Bottom line, it's coming along. It's coming along faster than I probably would have dared hope, but here we are. The word is, if you're over 60 years old, you can go to Siloam on Sunset Road and get a vaccine. Bali is now average under 200 new cases a day. Okay, and that's down substantially from the peak a few months ago. All right, and Indonesia as a whole has approximately a 10% positivity rate, also down greatly from a few months ago. I mean, that's where it was a year ago, okay? 10, 11, 12%, okay? So, this is very good news. So that's it. I'll wrap it up. And again, this is Tom from Wage Freedom. If you want further updates, things are starting to move quickly here. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell, and you get the notification when I make a new video if you want to. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. I appreciate any comments that you have, any engagement whatsoever. And I always answer any comment or question that you have myself. Happy to do that. I think things are going to move quickly, and I'm optimistic for the next few months. There's no firm date on reopening yet. How can there be? They've got to show the numbers low enough to really, probably justify reopening it at any kind of a scale at all. But progress is being made. That's clear. In my mind, the news is good. Take care, and thanks very, very much for watching.